Because Hatsumi constantly reminded the victim that she was only alive to marry them someday, she ended up putting her entire life into a child's hands, causing the victim to undergo a lot of stress. Eventually, the victim had to speak up and tell Hatsumi that they had to break up, because Hatsumi was turning 18 and the victim was still a child, around 14 years of age. At first, Hatsumi didn't take it well and repeatedly claimed that if nobody knows, it's okay, or if we don't tell anyone, it's fine, because Hatsumi never had made the age or identity of the victim public. The victim was still trying to convince her that they had to break up because it was illegal, and it took them 5 months to finally convince Hatsumi to break up with him, only under the condition that it was just a break, and promised that they would get back together with Hatsumi when they turned 18. Although, even after their breakup, Hatsumi would continue to act as if they were dating, making the victim very uncomfortable, but any time they would try to confront Hatsumi on this issue, she would start turning the conversation back to herself and her problems, guilt tripping. Not too long after the breakup, the victim asked Hatsumi to delete the explicit voice recordings, as Hatsumi was an adult and the recordings were from when the victim was a young teenager. Since the victim already told Hatsumi of their bad experience with sexual manipulation online in the past, they expected Hatsumi to understand the reasoning behind the discomfort of an adult having explicit voice recordings of them. But instead of understanding, Hatsumi started trying to convince the victim to allow her to keep it, guilt-tripping them and telling them it's okay. Even though Hatsumi did end up deleting the recordings, her reaction caused the victim's trust in Hatsumi to change. As the days went on, Hatsumi would keep acting like she was still dating the victim, kissing them in roleplay, calling them pet names, etc. At first, the victim didn't say anything because they were afraid of upsetting her, but they eventually made it clear that they didn't want to be involved in any sort of intimacy with her at all.